Welcome back to the Nation Nations podcast. I'm your host, Angelica Stanley, and today we're continuing our 21-day coaching business challenge with week 2, setting goals and planning for success. So if you joined last week, we covered the foundational steps to build your coaching business, like defining your why, identifying your dream business, and pinpointing your niche. This week, we're going to focus on setting goals and planning for success in a way that's practical, actionable, and aligned with God's plan for you. Let's get started. Goal setting is one of the most important parts of running a successful business. Without clear, actionable goals, I'm going to be real with you're just spinning your wheels. Ask me how I know. But when you get goals set the right way, you're giving yourself a roadmap to follow. In Proverbs 16:9, it says, "The heart of a man plans his way, but the Lord establishes his steps." So as we plan, it's important to leave room for God's direction while setting goals that are SMART, which is specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. One of the biggest issues that I've personally had to overcome was realistic. Now, I know I said relevant for the SMART goal, but I want to throw in the word there, realistic. At the end of you doing all of this, think about, is this goal realistic? So let's say a specific goal would be, I want to increase my water by 110 ounces by the end of the day. Okay, well, it's measurable. It's very specific. Is it achievable? Well, what does that look like? Well, if I'm at 20 ounces a day, I'm not, okay? But if I'm at 20 ounces a day, am I going to be able to consistently keep and get to 120 ounces, right? And then is this relevant? Yeah, it's relevant because it's part of my life, my health. This is what I'm facing right now. And time bound. Well, time bound meaning that it's by the end of the day and I have a mark to meet, right? And this is where realistic comes in the word. I want to throw that in there with relevant and achievable. Is it realistic? Can you realistically continue drinking 120 ounces starting at 20, or do you need to break that down and say increase by 20 ounces a week or every 4 days? Okay. So actionable step for you is today, take time to set 3 specific goals for your coaching business. Write down 1 personal goal, 1 financial goal, and 1 spiritual goal that aligns with your mission. Okay. This is the reason why goal setting is key to business growth. As we continue, I want to talk to you about breaking down big goals into daily action steps. Remember how I said earlier about, maybe it's increasing every 3 days, 20 ounces every 3 days. Once you've set your goals, the next step is to break them down into daily and weekly tasks, okay? So the mistake many new coaches make is setting a big goal, lofty goals, without creating a step-by-step plan to get there, okay? So let's say your goal is to gain 5 new coaching clients by the end of the month. What do you need to do each day to achieve that goal? Maybe it's sending 5 outreach emails or creating weekly content to nurture your leads. Today, I want you to take one of your goals that you set in our first part of the podcast and break it down into smaller action steps. What can you do today to get one step closer to reaching that goal? Maybe it's picking one social media platform and sticking to that for the next 30 days and watching the fruit come from you being consistent in posting about one product, one service for 30 days. This part of the podcast, I kind of have to explain a little bit of strategy, but okay, I'm just going to be real. It's time management strategy for coaches. This is something that I personally struggled with and I constantly, continuously overcome because when something new comes in, I'm having to readjust. So if I get really good at how a goal is broken down in a smart way, then I'm able to get better and efficient at creating the goals, right? And so when something new comes in, I'm able to break that down and then look at my list and be like, dang, I have all of these tasks that I got to get done this week. What does that look like for my weekly planning? Next, looking at time management, think about it this way. As a coach, especially if you're balancing family, faith, and business, it can be hard to find time to do everything. Okay. Ask me how I know. But when you create a time management strategy that works for you, it's a game changer. In Psalm 90, verse 12, we're reminded to number our days that we may gain a heart of wisdom. This verse teaches us to use our time wisely. How are you managing the time God has given you to build your business and serve your clients? Your action step for this part is I want you to write down your daily schedule for the next week. Plan out the specific hours you'll dedicate to working on your business, learning, and taking action. So if you're part of this challenge, it's geared for an hour a day of learning and implementing, and then another hour. Well, it's 2 hours. I'll always work from a 2 hour. But then the other hour can be reaching out to your clients, checking in. How is that going? Creating content for your communities that you have or your community that you're building. If you can carve out 2 hours a day for focused work, you'll be amazed at how much you can accomplish. Our next part, income and pricing strategy. So I have to say this because I want you to be able to set a financial goal, but I want to walk you through income goals first before because I'm giving you, that's what we're going to do. We're going to set a financial goal. Okay. But before we do that, I want to walk you through the importance of this and how there's a strategy. Okay. So diving into income goals, knowing how much you want to earn and how you're going to get there is key to building a sustainable coaching business. But it's not just about setting a number, okay? Hear me when I say this. It's about creating a plan to reach that number. So I'm stressing it this way because create a smart financial income goal. If you're going to set a goal like you've never coached before, you've never worked with clients, you've never done the tech, you've never done any of these things before, you've never done a podcast or all these things that are involved. And you're like, I'm going to make 10,000 in 30 days. Is it possible? Yeah, I've seen it done. They had a following. They had everything set up. They had a background in PR marketing for a large law firm. They kind of had that that skill assessment before. Reason why in past episodes we've done your impact to launch, doing that skills assessment so that you can use your skills to help you make money. Okay. So it's about creating a plan to reach that number. So first, consider how many clients you want to work with. Okay. Let's say you want to work with one client. Then decide how much you want to charge. I'm going to say this: 7, 17, 27, 47, 97. $7 membership, $17 single item, flat base single purchase, $27 a month single or membership, single purchase or membership, $47 a month membership, $97 a month membership. Why am I saying membership? I'm saying membership because that is a key pricing strategy when you are starting out, because you give a lot of content and that monthly payment really holds the person accountable. This is why I'm saying it, because I'm looking at it in supporting the client. Majority of our people who we're called to serve, if they're paying $7 a month and they're tight on finances, or they're paying 17 or 27 bucks a month, when that bill comes due and they're looking at their finances, they're going to be like, oh, this was drafted from my account. And oh my goodness. It's not about whether they stay or not. We want them to stay, but we're teaching and leading and holding accountable for financial stewardship. That's the reason why I do memberships. So it's not just because it's a great way to build residual income, but it's an amazing way to help people develop and mature into the stewardship of their finances and being accountable. In Deuteronomy 8:18, it says, remember the Lord your God, for it is he who gives you the ability to produce wealth. Your pricing should reflect the value you bring, and trust that God will provide you as you walk in obedience. So yes, your pricing should reflect the value that you bring. However, if you're saying your value is $3,000 and you're throwing spaghetti and nobody's responding to you, but then you take that offer and you really look at the people that you're called to serve and you'll be like, they can't afford $3,000. They don't even make that in a month. Do you see what I'm saying? You got to be real. It's not about bringing people down. It's about giving people a hand up, an opportunity. You don't want them to have a handout. You want them to have a hand up out of poverty, right? You want to give them a way out of the pit. And doing that, your content and the way you serve is the value that you bring. You're serving people whether they have the money or not. So your pricing should reflect the value you bring, but in the context of you're trusting God and those people. Let me say it this way. I charge $27 a month. If you go through my entire thing, I'm charging the value a month, because if you work with me for 1 year, okay, for $27 a month times 12, I would charge you $324 just to have access to the course one time. And that would be great. But I know that you need the support and the accountability. So instead of me sending all these emails, your cash flow is accountable to you. because you got mouths to feed, you got things to do. So you're either spending this money to help you make money and me to help you teach you and learn, help you grow and steward and, build a relationship and, outside of all of these different things on social media and get the digital products and download them and use them and start your coaching business and all of that. You see what I'm saying? Set a financial goal for the month. This is your action step. Okay. How many clients do you need and at what price point to reach your goal? Write this down and create a plan and how to market your coaching service to meet the goal. So let's say you're selling your first digital product for $27 and you're going to sell this digital product for $27. And in order for you to meet your goal of $500 a month, okay, let's say your goal is 500. So divided by 27, you're going to have to sell 18 and you want to hit this in a month. So that's divided by 4. So that means you need to sell 4 a week. 4 a week. You're just starting. Angelica, I don't even know if I could do this. I don't even know. Okay. So let's get the goal to 1 a week, right? When we talked about SMART goals. So you would set the objective of this financial goal of, so for 90 days out, right? Your first month, you're going to get 1 a week. Then the second week, you're going to shoot for 3 every 2 weeks, right? And then you're going to be like, okay, I'm going to shoot for 2 a week or 4 a week or however, right? You're going to scale it in a smart way. So now I want to talk to you about overcoming obstacles and staying focused. This is really important because every coach faces obstacles. It's very important because every coach faces obstacles, whether it's fear, self-doubt, a lack of resources, but God has given us everything we need to overcome these challenges and keep moving forward. In Isaiah 41:10, it says, God says, fear not, for I am with you. Be not dismayed, for I am your God. He is with you through every challenge. Do you just say it or do you believe it? So when you feel like giving up, remember why you started. Go back to the why you defined in week 1 and trust that God is guiding your steps. I have an action step again for you. This is a lot of action on this podcast, right? So when you feel like giving up, remember why you started. Your action step is write down one obstacle that has been holding you back. Okay? Now come up with a solution or an action plan to overcome that obstacle. We're talking about goal setting. Sometimes the problems that we're facing is we just don't know how to put a goal to it. Okay? Whether it's fear, time constraints, or lack of resources, there is always a way through it. Designing a productive workday. Now, I have to keep this short, simple, and sweet, but I could not put this in there because I believe these are perfect steps to helping you set goals and plan for success. So the last step is once you set your goals, create a time management plan and identify your obstacles. Okay. So we're going to talk about productive work days and what that looks like. Every day doesn't need to be jam-packed, but having a clear structure that will keep you clear and focused. In Proverbs 31:17, it says, she sets about her work vigorously. Her arms are strong for her tasks. Your workday should be productive, but it should also be balanced. Make time for prayer, reflection, and rest, as well as the tasks that will grow your business. Okay? Your action step today is plan out your ideal workday. Block out time for learning, action, client work, and rest. Try to stick to a schedule for the rest of the week and adjust as needed to make it work for you. Do this every Sunday. Okay. A little bit of, background. On Sundays, I bulk create. I do all of my long form content on Sunday evenings because from 4 to 7 o'clock, I'm able to do that. If I start earlier, then I'm done by 5. Okay. This all wraps up week 2 of our 21-day coaching business challenge. Again, if you want to get in the group, or click the link below and you can get the action step emails. An email a day will get you started. This week, we focus on setting goals and creating a plan for success. You learned how to set SMART goals, break them down into actionable steps, manage your time, and set financial targets. Next week, we dive into visibility, marketing, and client attraction. These are my favorite, okay? So as we focus on growing your coaching business, I'll be giving you tips to increase your visibility, engaging with your audience, and positioning yourself as the go-to coach in your niche. Okay. So, in the meantime, make sure to stick to your goals and your schedule for this week. And don't forget to join the Niche Nations Facebook group, right? To share your progress and connect with others that are on this journey. As always, if you have any questions or need extra support, feel free to reach out on Instagram. You can even leave a comment if you're listening to this on Spotify. You can leave a comment and I can respond to you there. Okay. If you enjoyed today's episode, make sure to subscribe to the podcast and leave a review. And don't forget to join the Niche Nations Facebook group. We're supporting each other through this 21-day journey. Subscribe to YouTube, subscribe to Spotify, and join the group. That's what I got for you. I love you. God bless you. And I will see you soon.